Am I supposed to just talk? This makes for great content, doesn't it? All right, I guess I'm here to play a trivia match. There's zero stakes for me because I've never cared if I win to begin with. I don't know either of these gentlemen. They seem very nice from the 30 seconds I spent with them before we hit record. So here I am once again for your entertainment. Hi, Mom.
What's up? I'm back. Third match now in singles. Got the win last time, which was nice. Was happy with how that went. And yeah, I've been in the trivia community for a few years now, so it's not that often that I play against people I've never played against, and it's even less often that I play against people that I don't even know. But that's kind of the case today. I don't know Aaron or Rick, so it's fun to play against new people, but also, there's another side to that, which is that I don't necessarily know the full range of their strengths and weaknesses. So that could make for an interesting match. But yeah, good luck, guys. But I'm hoping to take this one.
Hey everybody, it's the trivia noob in the group. I don't know anybody. I barely know John and Henry I've played with in other leagues, but I'm excited coming off a win last time, and hopefully, I don't know either of these guys, but I am intrigued by their strengths and looking forward to a good match.
Hey everybody, welcome to There Will Be Trivia, TWBT as is. And we're learning new things. We're learning that not only are we your online home for movie trivia, we bring people together. Three men that might not otherwise even have known each other are now going to spend a half hour together in a common activity, making friends, building communities. Henry Sanchez, Henry Confidential, how are you?
I'm doing good. Getting used to setting up the pre-talk, getting the stats together. But yeah, this is an interesting one. I love that none of them know each other because they could easily know each other if they watch the videos. But hey, I mean, we'll get into that later. But it's one of those where these players have had a rocky road in terms of their performances so far. Of they're higher up in the standings in terms of as of right now, but they all three of them have not had at least one match where it was a top tier performance, but then they had a follow-up match that was a top tier performance, or vice versa, the first and second. But either way, so it's one of those ones where this could be a shit show where they all shit the bed and they all just have a terrible match, or it could be one where they just battle out and it's one of the most epic performances we've ever seen. And that's why I like this, because triple threats are fun because there's more involved, there's more strategy, there's more content that can happen, and there's also more of the unknown, specifically for this match because they don't know each other. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. A bunch of nice guys. We have the stats right now. I'm gonna have to do a little break there because I was looking at it. Google Sheets is so small, so it's always hard to fucking read what it is. So we got Scott is 1-1-0. Rick is 1-1-0. And Aaron is 1-1-0. Okay. I figured, just wanted to make sure. And then TKOs. That's what we have. They all have 2 TKOs, so that's easy. And they all have 5 points. All right, that's easy. Boom. All right.
Yeah. What a trio we have.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so first up we have Aaron Knoll, who has a record of 1-1-0 with 2 TKOs and a total of 5 points and a strength of movie release dates. Next up we have Rick, who has also a record of 1-1-0 with also 2 TKOs and a total of 5 points for the standings and a strength of 90s Adam Sandler. And then finally we have Scott Harvey, who is 1-1-0 with 2 TKOs and a total of 5 points with a strength of 2021 movies. So yeah, probably the best overall matchup in terms of equality that we've had at this point. So I'm excited. Always got to make some jokes, but now it's time for business. So before we bring them all in, let's go ahead and see the rules for round 1. All right, gentlemen. So now we all know how it goes, but just my one reminder I like to remind people, because it's newer and it's not, common amongst the leagues. We have challenges, but if you lose your challenge, then you will also lose a time extension / repeat, just as a kind of a punishment, like timeouts and challenges in the NFL. So with that said, John, are you ready?
I am ready.
Rick, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Aaron, are you ready?
Yeah, why not?
Scott, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
You better be, because there will be trivia. Damn, that was fire. Why haven't I been doing that for years? John, hit it with question number 1.
Your first question is going to come in Scott's strength of movies released in 2021. Who directed The Power of the Dog? Start them off with a nice, what I think is an easy one at least.
You wrote it. So I have not seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? I watched it last week.
Well, I wonder what gave you the idea to write this one. Then.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of 2021 movies recently, so of course I would have, written all these questions. Let's see what the answers are in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scott.
Jane Campion.
Aaron.
Jane Campion.
And Rick.
Nobody.
Jane Campion is correct.
All right, so 1-1-0 going into the second question. Category movie release dates, Aaron's strength. What year saw the release of the horror sequels Dawn of the Dead, Damien, Omen 2, and Jaws 2? In my mind, it took a minute to register that Dawn of the Dead's a sequel, so as I was reading that, I was like, wait, what?
It is a sequel.
Well, I know, but it took me a minute to register. Like, when you're reading sequel titles, you're expecting, more, so I was like, wait, what? This is the fun thing we always have with these matches when you're reading, a doc or a question for the first time, and it just doesn't quite make sense in your brain until it does. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to start with Aaron.
1979.
And then Rick.
I have 1978.
And Scott.
1979.
One of you is correct. 1978.
Yeah.
Rick.
Nice.
Tie board. Tie game across the board.
And since we front-loaded those other two strength questions, let's do the third strength question. The 90s Adam Sandler, Rick's strength. The movie Airheads centers around a band with what name trying to get their demo tape played on the radio?
Now, speaking of something I just watched for the first time recently.
Oh, you just watched it for the first time?
Yeah.
I think, we talked about it, didn't we? I did the whole, I ain't farting on no snare drum thing.
Yeah, I had a good time with this. It definitely is missing something to be like an all-timer, but solid movie.
It's just a regular fun movie.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
It has a really fun cast, too. Like a deep cast.
Go ahead, Rick.
The Lone Rangers.
And Scott?
I just wrote the band from Under the Silver Lake because I like the name Jesus and the Brides of Dracula.
And Aaron?
I wrote the Pinheads. That's wrong, but
The Lone Rangers is correct.
Correct. All right, moving into now the strengths are over. General categories of classics starting off. The titular Mr. Roberts is in which branch of the U.S. Armed Forces? The old classic.
The old 1 in 5 shot. Well, I guess if you count the Space Force, 1 in 6. But the Space Force, guys, spoiler alert, didn't exist when this movie came out.
Or it could be the inspiration for it. We'll find out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back over to Scott.
Army.
Aaron.
I said the Air Force.
And Rick.
I said the Army as well.
Dirty sweep. Looking for the Navy.
Yes. Your fifth question comes in, of course, my favorite category of horror. It Follows and Don't Breathe. Both are set in or near what U.S. city?
Got to hit once again. We always write questions so they can't be challenged. Near. That's the whole point of.
I mean, it's only because in It Follows, there's the whole scene where they go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Don't Breathe, they're in the same spot for the whole movie.
The primary focus is in what city?
Yeah. Well, let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go to Aaron.
I said San Fernando.
And Rick.
I put Detroit.
And Scott.
Detroit.
Detroit, Michigan is correct.
Eminem would be proud. Your sixth question in the category of animated. Who voices Jessie in the Toy Story franchise? Aaron, I know you're writing, but yeah, just so it's visible. Aaron,
Aaron, just keep your hands up there.
Yeah, just so it's visible.
Well, I can't write like this.
No, I get it. for everyone's sake of mine. I've known you for a long time, but I can't pick on other people and be biased towards my friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're starting with Rick, maybe? I don't remember.
Yep. I believe it's Joan Cusack.
Scott.
Oh,
Joan Cusack.
And Aaron.
nope.
Ooh, was not able to pull it, unfortunately. Joan Cusack is correct.
Yeah, the randomizer also gave me, they said John read a War Epics question. So here's your War Epics question. Desmond Doss, the main character of Hacksaw Ridge, has what specialty in the U.S. Army?
Talk about movies that I need to revisit. I really like this movie, but I need to revisit it. I haven't seen it in a few years.
I haven't seen it. I just happen to know about it. But 5,
I recommend it.
4, I'm definitely gonna watch it. 3, 2.
A little melodramatic in the first 20 minutes, but other than that, really good.
We're back over to Scott
I said medic.
and Aaron
I said medical training.
Yeah.
and Rick.
I put gun specialist, but that's not right.
I'm gonna give it to Aaron and Scott. He's a medic.
Yeah. Anything medical related that's the main person we're looking for, especially in round 1. Your 8th question in the category of the 1980s. In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel is prominently featured in a major scene in what 80s coming-of-age film?
Flying to the boards. Sounds like get carpal tunnel watching them go to the boards that fast.
This is one of my favorite movies. So.
Fun fact. Didn't love it. It was fine. I had to watch it for debate. That's actually up on TMG Trivia right now, or Entertainment right now. Me versus Chad. Let me know what you think. But for now, 5, 4, 3, 2. When Harry Met Sally is way better. 2, 1. We're gonna start with Scott.
I gave her my heart. She gave me a pen. Say anything.
Aaron.
I could not have told you the song title before tonight, but Peter Gabriel Say Anything.
And Rick.
Say anything.
I wanted you to say anything, literally.
Your 9th question, your penultimate question, comes in the category of science fiction. What 1990s science fiction movie is set in a dystopian future where your genetic makeup dictates what jobs you're allowed to hold in society?
I have no idea what my genetic makeup would give me. It would probably give me the job of a dildo.
Dildo? I would have said firefighter.
All right, I'll take that. That's probably better than a dildo.
Yeah.
Ironically, cleaner.
Yeah, dildo might actually be cleaner. You'd be a lot of soot with a firefighter. 5.
I'd rather deal with the house stuff.
We'll go to Aaron first.
Shot in the Dark. Dark City.
And Rick.
I said Total Recall.
And Scott.
Gattaca.
Gattaca is the correct answer.
Rafi would be proud. Gattaca. And your final question in the category of Oscars. Who won Best Directors for films released in the year 2000? It blended in with the question mark as I was looking down, so I thought it was 2007. So in my mind, I'm like,
that was a very long time. It was a 2000s.
Yeah, I was like, that's not right. I was 2,000 years of longing when I was reading that. Sorry, guys, I'll leave.
Can you repeat?
Yeah, that is Aaron's first full repeat or just extension. Just be clear.
Yeah, repeat it.
Okay. Who won Best Directors for films? Who won Best Director for films released in the year 2000? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna start with Aaron.
Steven Soderbergh.
Rick.
I put Spielberg.
Just Spielberg. Yeah, good thing that's not right, because that would have been an awkward conversation. And then Scott.
The King, Steven Soderbergh.
Steven Soderbergh is correct. For future reference, we do need first and last names, no matter how important and well-known, famous they are. Just to be clear, that's a precedent.
To be fair, I call him Soderbergh when I see him. Like, yo, Soderbergh, what's up?
I just call him Steve, so that's how cool we are. John, what do you have as a score at the end of round 1?
I got Scott in the lead with 7, Rick at 5, Aaron at 4.
That's exactly what I have. And Scott and Rick with their 3 extension/repeats, and Aaron down to 2. So with that said, we're going to decide who's going to go first, second, or third. But before that, here are the rules. Round 2. All right, Aaron has elected/been forced to go first. So here is your spin. And you land on movie release dates.
I'm gonna ride this train until I get fucked over, so why not play it?
All right, he's gonna date these movies. Sorry, guys, I'm leaving. All right, I like release dates more than John, so I'll go ahead and read these. Is that fair, John?
That is more than fair.
I don't want to, kind of tip, your weakness of the people. It might be a strength, but who knows? Aaron, just remind you have multiple choice and write down the steals and hands up for everybody. First question: what year did Zootopia hop in theaters?
I see what you did there. It hopped into theaters. Oh.
2016.
Hop, hop. Hip hop anonymous. That is correct for 2 points. Your next question. Russell Crowe was nuts in A Beautiful Mind, which was released in what year?
That's actually offensive.
2001.
Offensive and correct. Whoever wrote this is a piece of garbage. Your third question. In what year did Coneheads point its way to theaters?
It's a Sandler question, too. Look at that.
Multiple choice.
Is it
I
A?
know he'll probably get it.
Is it A, 1987, B, 1989, C, 1991, or D, 1993?
$1993.
That is correct for 1 point. And your final question. Mark Wahlberg's Shooter shot its way on the big screen in what year?
2007.
That is correct for 2 points. Didn't let the puns get to you. All right, so you shot your way up to 11.
I almost thought you were talking about that fucking horrible Marsden movie.
You shot your way up to 11, and you hopped your way into first place. We're going to bounce over to Rick for his spin. Rick, your first spin. Directed by Ryan Johnson.
I'll do a respin.
He is going to risk it all. And you are going to be stuck with the mystery category, which, just a reminder, if you land on the mystery category on a second spin, it is just revealed and used as a regular category. John, since you wrote this, I actually used one of your written mystery categories finally. So
I think this is one of yours. Is that either yours or Will's? I didn't write this.
No, it isn't. I thought about using yours, then I realized all yours sucked. But I will still let you read it to mix it up. And then just a reminder, because it was on a respin, you will get multiple choice if you want, and it's only 2 points for like regular.
All right, so the mystery category is final film appearances, the final films of certain actors or actresses.
Nice.
Rick, are you ready?
I wrote this so long ago.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's go
your first question. What was Paul Walker's final full film before his death? Five, four.
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice answers are A, Brick Mansions, B, Hours, C, Pawn Shop Chronicles, or D, Vehicle 19.
I'm going to say Brick Mansions.
And you would be correct. That is his final full film. Your second question. What was Philip Seymour Hoffman's final film?
I mean, technically, it would have been Mockingjay Part 2 was the last thing he appeared in.
Is that your final answer?
I mean, it's the last thing he was in. Yes. Yep.
Henry, incorrect?
I mean, I just looked at his filmography when I watched The Master the other day. That was the last thing listed.
I'm gonna rule that as incorrect and turn it over to.
And I'll do a fact check, and we'll.
We can do a fact check. I
Okay.
think you may come up on the top of this. I'm gonna just turn it over to them just to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was Philip Seymour Hoffman's final film? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Scott
I'm going to say The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
and Aaron.
I said A Most Violent Year.
Now, Scott would be correct, but if you're saying he shows up in archival footage or something in
No,
part 2,
I did a fact check, and it was just a typo. So it's just he was in part 2.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
in part
okay,
two.
then we're gonna give Rick those 2 points, and
Okay.
there's no challenge.
I was going to say, 'cause-
There's a difference between a fact check and a challenge.
Yeah.
That's just a fact check. It was just a typo. So
and it was weird. I happened to look the other day because I was watching The Master and saw Most Violent Year was the last thing he did, but he was post
by the way, you
last
gave
thing he
Master
shot,
3
so that's why I
stars.
guessed
So
it.
I'm not really happy with you. So we should not talk about the Master right now because I'm not happy with you. But you get your 2 points, and we'll go on to your third question.
Your third question. Audrey Hepburn's final film was by a famous director, and what film was that?
multiple choice.
Is it A, Always, B, North, C, New York, New York, or D, Family Plot?
I'm going to say Always because I know Steven Spielberg directed it.
You are correct. Always was her final film.
Good logic.
And your final question. What was John Candy's final film?
Oh, crap. I'm going to go for it. Wagons East.
That is incorrect. Again, for a chance for 2 points still, what was John Candy's final film?
I respect the shot.
That's a very good guess. 5, 4,
Spoiler alert. It's in the
3,
multiple choice.
2, 1. And we'll go to Aaron first.
I said Black Sheep.
And Scott.
I'm wrong. I said Uncle Buck.
All incorrect. Looking for Canadian Bacon. Wagons East was his second to last film. Canadian
Okay.
Bacon. Michael Moore's Canadian Bacon was his final film.
So with that said, Rick goes up to 9, Aaron at 11, and Scott's at 7 with his spin. Does that sound right?
That's correct.
All right, Scott, your spin is in with release dates and the mystery category off. And it lands on Scott's choice. What a day.
All right, I'll go with 2021 movies.
All right, he's gonna recent releases, not 2021. All right, we'll go with that right now. All right, Scott. Category of 2021 films, hundreds and hundreds to choose from. Let's see if you like these 4. In A Quiet Place Part 2, we are introduced to Emmett, a friend of the Abbott family, played by whom?
Cillian Murphy.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. Raya and the Last Dragon takes place in the fictional land of Kumandra, which is divided into how many kingdoms?
5.
That's correct for 2 points. Your third question. What is Sean working as when we first see him in the present day in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings?
A valet.
That is correct for 2 points. And your final question. Who directed Parallel Mothers?
Pedro Almodovar.
That is correct for 2 points.
Hold on.
All right, so after a full completion of round 2, Scott goes into the lead at 15, Aaron in second at 11, and Rick not too far behind at 9. So before we get into everyone's strengths, here is the rules for round 3. All right, gentlemen, so just a reminder, Scott and Rick, you both have 3 extensions / repeats remaining. Aaron, you're down to 2. We're going to start with Rick. If you hit your 2, you will take a TKO away from Aaron, bounce it over to Aaron, and then so on until, further and further. So with that said, I will take 90 Sandler for Rick. Sound cool?
Sure.
All right. Rick for 2 points and to tie Aaron. Who plays Julian's biological father, Kevin, in Big Daddy?
It's
Five,
Extension.
4. Okay, that's your first one.
Can I think of his name?
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, no answer is incorrect. Looking for John Stewart. John Stewart. All right. So once again, we're going to stick with you for your 3-pointer, which if you hit, you will take the lead on Aaron and also stop him from having a TKO. The academic decathlon montage in Billy Madison starts with Eric beating Billy in what subject?
Musical instruments.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. We're looking for math. All right, so we're going to be sticking with Rick for his 5-pointer. And at this point, Scott, you have been awarded 1 TKO for Rick, but this is still to fight for second place as well as knock a TKO away from Aaron. So for 5 points, Rick. In Happy Gilmore, what does Happy specifically leave the cocktail reception? Okay. In Happy Gilmore, what does Happy specifically leave the cocktail reception before the Portland tournament early to do?
Cocktail reception. I believe that's when he goes to the 9th green at 9 and gets water all over him.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. I'm looking to go play Asteroids in the game room. So with that said, Scott and Aaron will be awarded at least 1 TKO, and now they're going to be fighting for first and second. We're going to bounce over to Aaron for his 2-pointer. Go ahead, John.
All right. Aaron, your 2-pointer in movie release dates. What year did Bill Murray first appear in a Wes Anderson film?
(2001).
That's incorrect. Looking for 1998's Rushmore. 1998's Rushmore.
Okay. He was in one before. Okay. Yep.
Your 3-pointer. What year saw the release of the remake of Lolita?
(1997).
That is good for 3 points. However, you are still 1 point shy of Scott. You will need to answer the 5-pointer to knock it back over to him.
Okay.
For 5 points. In what year did we see an Oscar performance from Daniel Day-Lewis, a supporting franchise role from Joe Pesci, and a non-self role from Weird Al Yankovic?
Just a reminder, you have 2 extensions and repeats.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4.
Repeat the whole thing.
Repeat the whole thing. Okay. In what year did we see an Oscar-winning performance from Daniel Day-Lewis, a supporting franchise role from Joe Pesci, and a role where Weird Al Yankovic does not play himself? Five, 4, 3.
Repeat the whole thing one more time.
Last one.
Repeat. In what year did we see an Oscar-winning performance from Daniel Day-Lewis, a supporting franchise role from Joe Pesci, and a role where Weird Al Yankovic does not play himself. Five, 4,
1990.
And your winner with the correct answer, 1 year off in 1989, Scott Harvey, picking up 2 TKOs in that match. Aaron in second place with 1 TKO, and Rick in third place. So we will talk to our
just to be clear, the year was 1989 with the 3 movies of My Left Foot, Lethal Weapon 2, and UHF.
Oh, I forgot he was in those. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so now we will bounce over to our first place finisher and Scott Harvey. All right, Scott. So obviously your opponents had a really good match, but you just, you came out firing. Round 1, you were in the lead. You got your strength in round 2, so that's always one of the caveats where high scoring that helped. But at the end of the day, you said you know it, and you impressed everyone with that. And unfortunately, you didn't get to answer more 2021 movies in round 3. But overall speaking, how are you feeling about your performance today and going into the final set of matches before the tournament?
I feel good. It was a good match. I was able to get a little bit of a lead there in round 1 and then keep it. Getting my strength helps, but as you said, Henry, it's a big strength. I've had it before in other matches and various leagues, and they'll pull out 4 random ass movies that came out in February that nobody saw. But thankfully, I happened to get 4 movies that I did see, so the odds were in my favor tonight. Great match to Rick and Aaron. They kept it close up to the final round there, and didn't get to answer any questions, but I'm not going to complain about that in round 3. So
absolutely.
So to the next match.
With a first place finish and 2 TKOs, you jump yourself up to 9 points, which actually jumps myself and Sam Wilson. So now you are in a sole of third place going into the final matchup. So definitely, you have a chance to maybe play me again in that next match. We'll see how that goes. But overall speaking, how do you feel? Now that you've been acclimated 3 matches into the tournament, as well as into the league, as well as a team tournament play, where you generally speaking should know how the format rolls. Is it different in terms of prep from other leagues, or at the end of the day, trivia is still trivia, and you get what you get?
Yeah, no, I think it's more you get what you get. There's always going to be that small risk that you hit somebody else's strength on the wheel. But if it's just, one round, one question like it was tonight, especially if it's something like general like movie release dates, which you don't, even study for, I feel pretty comfortable with the format and everything. And, as long as the wheel keeps going my way, I feel good.
There you go. Well, congratulations on a first place finish on 2 TKOs, and see you in the final set of matches before the tournament. And next up, we have Aaron Knoll. Unfortunate second place finish there, but you did get a TKO and a second place, so you award yourself 2 points, which now bumps you up to 7 in the standings, which is tied with myself or Steven Shepard. I can't tell. It's small print on Google Sheets. But anyway, generally speaking, what are your thoughts on performance? And like you said, going into the match, no pressure, because at the end of the day, you claim to not know much about trivia or care, however you want to phrase it. But at the end of the day, you do clearly know your stuff. But on paper, if you did prep and you did study and all that stuff, you could be a beast. But generally speaking, how do you feel after this match?
Oh, I fucked myself in round 1. I missed a question I should have got, and then continued to miss like 2 questions after that I should have got. Like I like the Pixar question. I wrote Bonnie Hunt instead of Joan Cusack, who also plays a leading actress in another Pixar film. Like it was just basic shit that I got in my own head about. And so from that moment, like I knew it was going to be tough. Movie release dates, I could have gone for the 2 points on the Sandler one, but I didn't, simply because someone else picked 90 Sandler as a strength. So the odds of them getting it, if I was off by a year, which I already had been once in round 1. So yeah, it's not. Scott put in a great performance. What obscure films from 2021 do you not know if you knew Pedro Almodovar directed Parallel Mothers? What the goddamn hell do you not know from that year? Because I was gonna say, I thought those were great questions, and I can brag because I was off screen and say I knew them all as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, I lost this for myself in round one. I only ended up in second place because I got a strength, and unfortunately for Rick, those questions, he just wasn't able to get them in round three. So I feel lucky, all things considered. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm annoyed at myself that I forgot Pesci was in Lethal Weapon 2. Like, I thought about Lethal Weapon, and I was like, I think he only enters in the third one because I've never seen those movies. It was before my time, all of them. Richard Donner's whole career was basically before my time. So it was just one of those things where, like, I ruled it out way too early, and then I was trying to remember what year did my left foot come out, because that had to be the Daniel Day one. So yeah, it's just process of elimination where I eliminated the correct answer, and you're never going to get it at that point. So overall, I feel okay about what I did, but like I said, I'm going to leave this call and not think about this ever again until the next time that I play, which recording wise is like later this week, but still.
That's fair enough. But yeah, so going into this, you did get one point for second place and 1 point for a TKO. So you're still high up in the standings. So at the end of the day, you've pretty much solidified yourself going into the tournament, but you still have one more match. So I'm excited to see, what you do, if you stick with the release dates, if you switch it up or whatever. So I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to see it.
Hasn't done me wrong yet, so we'll just confirm it now. I'll probably pick release dates in the next match. We'll just get. I'm not secret about
it. See you in the next set of matches, buddy. And last but not least, Rick. So I guess the main question is, John Stewart, was that a name that was on the tip of your tongue? Could you see the face? You couldn't remember.
I could see the face. I'm disappointed in myself. The second round, the wheel spun for both my opponents, their direction. I did okay with the last films. Luckily, freak chance, I happened to look at Philip Seymour Hoffman's filmography like 2 days ago. I was close with Wagons East, which would have been an awesome pool. Canadian Bacon's on my to-watch list. I could see him walking in the courtroom, and I could not get his name out. And then when you said the decathlon, I was thinking when they were at the board, and that scene kind of just blurred together. So I'm just disappointed in my performance. My competitors did awesome. Some of those 2021 questions, I've heard of Parallel Mothers, but I would have never been able to pull the director's name out. But, they got their strengths. I didn't have a great performance, but my competitors both did awesome. And, hopefully next match I can pick myself up, because I'm disappointed.
Absolutely. There's no way to fully confirm it because we have matches to go. But right now, being ranked ninth, the odds of you falling out of tournament play, even with one more match to go, is low. But you still have one more match to solidify that. So I'm excited to see you recover, because that's essentially what it did. Your first match didn't go well. Your second match was a banger. Then this match was solid. So now I'm definitely curious to see. Just once again, when I say this with a lot of the players that don't have the experience playing the formatted trivia, where there's different mindsets going into it, whether it's checking a multiple choice, whether it's going with your gut, whether it's using a repeat last time extension. There's a lot that goes into it, or even just general studying. So yeah,
it's funny. Like, I watched Coneheads. Was it yesterday or today? Because I'd never seen it. I was like, just in case they asked me a Coneheads movie. I was not a fan personally. Once again, awesome cast, but that was like the hole in my 90s Sandler. But the stuff you asked me is movies I know. I didn't
That's
perform.
how it goes sometimes. Just like they say, at the end of the day, it's what you know, not what you don't know. Sometimes you get lucky, you just randomly know something that you probably shouldn't. But anyway, well, I'll see you in the next set of matches, and overall solid performance despite the outcome.
Thank you.
All right, John. Generally speaking, a really good match, like I predicted at the end of the day. These are players that didn't know each other. Now they'll never forget each other. Well, Aaron might, because he already said that after
an experience to bring those guys together. Yes, they'll be talking about this with their grandkids.
They're gonna start messaging each other every day, like, oh, remember that time we hung out and that one time that we had a match? Nah, but this was a blast. So if you made it this far in the video, you probably liked it. So you might as well drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you join the Facebook group, TWBT Movies. I changed the name again just because it's just cleaner to look at. The official home for movie trivia. Don't forget about that. And then make sure you follow me on TikTok on TWBT Movies, where I highlight random clips and stuff that we post on these, just because it's a lot of fun. Just get more exposure. So once again, make sure you hit that like button, because we're gonna start pumping up some numbers. Let's go for 10 likes now. We do a good job about 5 or 6. Let's get up to 10 likes. And then I will send you a high five. So with that said, my name is Henry Confidential. That is John Marr. Shout out to Will Cohen, who can't make it today. Brian Michaels as well. Shout out to our competitors today in Scott Harvey, Aaron Knoll, and Rick Weaver. My name is Henry Confidential. That is John. Make sure you show up next week, because there will be